Hello and welcome back to our co-creation together. I know I keep disappearing. I can't help it. It's with good purpose. These frequencies are so strong. They're actually requiring so much more of us now. And, every time I felt like, oh, gee, I want to come on, I want to connect, it just didn't feel like there was anything there for me to bring forward. And it was instead of being in the giving mode of putting out and doing, I was so deeply in receiving mode that I could not, um, you know, could not um, put together something that I could offer because there was just nothing there. I needed to stay in the receiver mode so that I could receive these frequencies. Very interesting what's taking place with them. They are incredibly high right now. The photonic light is very intensified. Photonic light is what we're comprised of. And so, if you know anything about photonic light, you know that it is living conscious light. It pushes distortion out of the body. So sometimes it makes us feel like we're about to pop, like it's that pressure point where you just want to go, and scream. But that's so powerful because if you let yourself do that, what is happening is you're releasing that heavy, distorted, toxic energy and making way for new creative energy to come in. And we could say that it's very similar to birthing a new reality, right? So, this is a very important time for us to be able to receive in and assimilate these frequencies. One of the things that has been striking me lately is something that I talked about with my online community last night in the mastery school is we last night we have a gathering called Inner Healer Gathering where I'll often talk about illness and disease and what creates it and then how to heal it and all of that good stuff. And we can do really deep dives in that particular class. And so last night, yesterday, when I was going through the motion of like making my notes for class, because I never know what topic I'm going to be on until that moment. And then I get the download and it's like, oh, okay, this is what we're going to be talking about. Turns out that, we had already done the root chakra through the heart chakra. And I wasn't sure if we were going to do keep going with the chakras because the last inner healer before this one we kind of got off track with talking more about energy, and so I thought to myself I wasn't really sure where we were going, but we did come back on track with the throat center, the throat energy center, which is the fifth chakra, right? It's located right at the center of the throat. And it's funny because it's funny, but it's not funny, but it's powerful in a sense because at this moment we're in such powerful frequencies that we are like almost directly manifesting the outcomes that we are thinking and then speaking, which then becomes an action, right? Thoughts turn to words, turn to action, and that action means reality. It's like you're thinking something and then you can't help but think it so much that you have to tell somebody. You ever have that where you're thinking in your head so much you actually have to say it out loud to somebody? Well, we kind of have to be careful with that because if it's a negative thing that we're speaking, that negative thing is going right out into our reality and feeding the reality that we're experiencing. Now, if it's something that you're not desiring to have in your reality, you're still going to have it because if you think about law of attraction, there is only attraction, right? There's nothing else. You only have attraction. So if you're thinking or focusing on something that is negative, that's still attraction. Even if you're in resistance to it because you don't want it, you're still going to attract it to you because it's what you are running energetically in your field. The universe does not know words, it only knows vibration and energy. So because this is such a potent time, and because the throat chakra energy is about manifestation, it's also about self-protection. Think about that, right? How we might be playing into that right now with everything that's going on in the outer reality out there, that we might want to feel like we need to protect ourselves from something, yet there is really nothing for us to protect ourselves from. That is the illusion of 3D, right? But we're expressing that through the throat center via spoken words, right? Through language, speaking. We can express it through singing, chanting, toning, light language, any harmonic, really, right? Any frequency, really. And the minute that something comes out of our mouth, it has to, by cosmic law, be created in our reality. The minute it comes out of our mouth, it's already in motion being created, right? So because this is such a heightened time with these frequencies and such a powerful, powerful time, we have to really start to think about what we are thinking. We have to monitor our thoughts so that we're not unconsciously creating things we don't want, right? Sometimes I find myself thinking about something and then I think to myself, yeah, I don't really want to speak that to anybody because I don't want to manifest that. And I just cancel, delete, and restore it, right? I'm not going to use that thought. I'm not going to hold that thought. I'm going to cancel it across all time, space, dimensions, and realities. I'm killing it for good. I'm canceling it. I'm deleting it. I'm removing it. I don't want it anywhere. I don't want it in a parallel reality. I don't want it here with me, right? And so the throat chakra also carries the energy of responsibility. Now, the front of the throat chakra is where that responsibility is held. And think about it from the point of when we were children and we were given responsibilities, okay? So the energy of responsibility is there. It's not about speaking responsibility, it's the energy that it warehouses. And then one that's even bigger than that is the thyroid, which is in the throat area. How many people do you know that have thyroid issues or have a thyroid that was removed? Because the thyroid energy is about separation. The thyroid holds the energy of separation. In other words, it is where we warehouse whether we are in our oneness with the divine within us, or we are separated from the divine within us and perceive ourselves as separate from source. That is thyroid energy, okay? So this is very, very powerful because in this energy that we're playing in the frequencies that are streaming in from the cosmos, we are being prompted to let go, to expand ourselves into unity, into love, into our highest creator states. Move beyond limiting thoughts, such as there being something wrong or something bad, or only this way is right, or only this way is good. But let go of all of that and find ourselves in a compassionate heart and use our words to speak in higher, evolved, conscious words, statements, phrases, right? That will feed the stream of consciousness in the collective with positivity, compassion, and love. The deconstruction that you're seeing out there in the reality that's playing out around us has to happen. It has to happen because so much on this earth is not right, does not work right. cannot sustain, especially in these high frequencies, right? It has to collapse, it has to crumble. And every soul that is interacting, whatever way that is, no judgment, whatever way that is, every soul that is interacting, you, me, and anyone overseas, anyone in other states, in other countries, wherever, right? Every one of us is playing out our role exactly as we came in to do. Maybe not exactly if we're not recognizing our highest creator state, the highest aspect of ourselves. And maybe we've gotten ourselves off our path and now we're heading down a rocky path or we're heading down the rabbit hole, right? But it's still what we came in to experience. And I always say this, even when I'm working with someone who has illness, if I'm working with someone who has cancer, right? You didn't create the cancer in your body so that you could depart the earth plane or continue on the path that you're continuing on, or have a lousy life experience. It was created to wake yourself up. Any illness, and especially major illness, it's created so that we wake ourselves up. I've had cancer twice. Okay. I know this firsthand. It's why I do what I do. It's how I got here. We use a critical illness to wake ourselves up so that we can get to an awakened state and we can start to embark on our journey of self-discovery and authenticity. Can't even talk. And here we are in throat chakra energy, right? Throat chakra frequency, where this is where we come into our most authentic self. If we were held back from doing that through our childhood with statements like children should be seen and not heard, right? That would make you probably let go of your authentic self and then turn to another state of being, like myself. That was something I heard, that you wouldn't want to participate in your reality because you couldn't be authentic in who you were. You were being told not to be you, right? To be something else that wasn't you. But now we're here and we're in these heightened frequencies that are ripe for manifestation in the blink of an eye almost, right? It's seemingly in the blink of an eye. And here we are having this divine experience where we can create the reality that we truly desire if we can understand what it is that we desire. Sometimes we don't know what that is, and it takes a while for us to figure that out, okay? Myself included, because I could be very content just, kind of bumping along through life and not really think about, like, what do I really, really desire? Like, what would set me on fire and make my soul just like, oh, I have to have so much more of that, right? We might be complacent in ourselves and be happy sometimes, not even realizing, or then fear to look for more or think about more because we don't feel like we have the right. We don't feel like we're deserving of that, right? So this is a time to really sit within our thoughts and really experience those thoughts and then make decisions on what we're thinking. Do I want to speak that out into my reality? In other words, I heard something that was negative, that sounded a little scary. Do I want to speak that out into the reality out there and share it with a friend? Because I feel like I have to share it with somebody because it feels so awful or it feels so scary. Think about that. Even though it might feel scary, maybe it's feeling scary because you have to clear fear. Maybe you have to clear worry. And the more you can sit with it and be okay with it and not have to share that information with somebody, you can be okay with the worry. You heal the worry that you're carrying. You heal the fear that you're carrying. You heal the separation from within yourself. Because Fear is the illusion, right? You've heard that a million times, a bazillion times. So I wanted to come on and talk to you about manifestation and about consciously co-creating with our universe the things that we want, and not sharing lower, distorted frequencies through words, right? Hey, did you hear? This is what I heard. Isn't that awful? Well, I hope that doesn't happen here, right? And then what happens? It happens because you keep speaking about it. You tell everybody you know, 10 people, hey, I hope it doesn't happen here. That it has to happen because now you've anchored it in your frequency 10 times, right? Unconsciously, you've really anchored that which you do not want in your energy field 10 times over, 10 times, which is now 1,000 times, which now makes you a major broadcaster of that frequency because you're harmonizing with it. You're regurgitating it. It's in your field. Instead, switch it to something that you do want. Switch it something to high vibration. Switch it to something that you're desiring and speak that in, right? But it's important for us to get to the place where we monitor what it is that we're thinking. What are we thinking? How often are we thinking it? I heard something brilliant the other day, and I can't remember who it was that said it. If you know, you can please feel free to share it in the comments. But somebody was speaking. I don't know if it was a professor, or if it was someone who is a meditation teacher, whatever. I heard it in the background of somewhere that I was venturing out to. And they said, ask yourself this one thing and see what the answer is. And the question was, ask yourself, what is my next thought? Did you have that experience too? When you asked yourself, what is my next thought? Was there complete silence? There was nothing. There was no thought, right? When we do this, we're checking in. It's called self-awareness, okay? And it's taking us by surprise because we're asking ourselves, hey, what are we going to be thinking of next? There can't be a next if we're conscious and we're present. There's going to be no thought process. Thoughts will go on their own rampage in your head internally, an internal rampage, and go on and on and on and on if we're not governing them, if we're not monitoring them, if we're not paying attention to them, right? And when we are finally paying attention and we get some thoughts in there that don't feel good, that don't sound good, like, something that we're not wanting to manifest, and we find ourselves thinking about it, then we have to call ourselves out and go, hey, wait a second. I don't want to be thinking that thought. No, let's get rid of that thought. I'm going to cancel, delete, and restore that thought across all time, space, dimensions, and realities, right? Sending it out there to the void, getting rid of it, transmuting it. It holds distortion, don't want it anymore. Oh, that thought is gone now. It's gone. Right? I want you to try that too. It's gone. It's gone. And now I can go back to thinking something that is more conducive to what I would desire to manifest in my reality. So I'm going to leave this here. And I just wanted to share this with you because I found this to be a very profound time, tying us directly into the throat area, throat chakra. And you'll know if you have throat issues that you need to work with your energy in your throat area, right? It's also the place for intuitive communication with our spirit guides or your ascended masters or your higher self, right? And that would be the occipital area in the back of the neck, called the mouth of God, right? That area where the voice of spirit is heard by us, right? Because the throat chakra also governs the ears and clear audience, which is clear hearing. But you'll know if you have issues, because you'll have thyroid issue. You might develop a lump in your throat where you feel like you can't swallow. There might not be anything there. It might be etheric, but you're still going to develop that lump where you feel like you can't swallow. Tonsils, teeth. Teeth are a big one. Teeth are about either making a decision or the inability to make a decision, right? So if you're having teeth issues, it's also part of control issues. You have to remember the throat area is a mini creative center, while our sacral area is a major creative center, right? We can birth new realities from there. The throat is a minor creative center. So we want to really take care of it. We want to nurture it. We don't want to neglect it, okay? The mouth, very, very important for the purpose of speaking our truth. And there's so much more. I could go on and on and on, but I don't want to make this video too long, and I want to leave this right here. My wish is that you find something here that is a little takeaway for you. If you do, please drop it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I do have a couple of videos coming out after this. I've felt like I was on a bit of a roll, so I'm trying to make them when I feel the energy or the push forward to do that. So make sure that you're checking back. I do make posts occasionally in the community. Please check there too, because sometimes I am feeling called to post something, but it's not going to be a huge amount of information coming through. I'm really focused and geared toward giving you exactly what I feel like is needed in this moment now. I don't want to come on here every day and bore you or give you stuff that's redundant. I want to bring through stuff that I feel is going to help shift you or help you have an aha moment in some way, shape, or form. That's my goal, okay? So when we connect here, it's for that purpose. So leaving it right here. Know that I love you so, so, so very much. I'm so happy that we were able to connect here today, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Please drop me a comment below. Let me know how you're doing, and we'll chat again another time. Love you. Bye-bye.